Before we begin what will be an incredible conference, it's only appropriate that all of you receive a warm welcome to Nashville from the President of the Nashville Firefighters, IFF Local 140, and some special guests he has with him today. Please welcome President Mark Young.
Thank you, Pat. Brothers and sisters, welcome to Nashville. Home of country music, home of bachelorette parties, home of scooters, home of paddle taverns, home of Uber, home of Lyft. Everything's here. Brothers and sisters, please enjoy your time here this week. If we can do anything for you to assist you, please stop at our booth. Our staff, the executive board, is here to help. And later on, I'm going to give some instructions on tonight. We're going to have a blast down off of Broadway at the Wild Horse. I first want to thank General President Harold Shakeberger, General Secretary Treasurer Ed Kelly, Edzo, for bringing this conference to this city. The entire staff of the IFF has worked tirelessly for the last few years to get here today. President Shakeberger, you have a heck of a staff. I also would like to thank District Vice President Danny Todd, State President Eddie Mitchell, and Local 1784 President Thomas Malone. These guys have put the pressure on me, on the IFF, to get a conference to Nashville, and here we are. And I understand this is a record-breaking attendance. Thank you to everyone who's made it possible to be here. I also would like to thank my executive board and the members of Local 140. Without their help, would not be possible to put this on. They have worked tirelessly the last year, somewhere maybe a year and a half, planning and getting things prepared for this conference. Brothers and sisters, give a hand to the staff of Local 140. My first guest this morning is someone who is very familiar with our profession. She is our previously state lobbyist. She is now our current council member representing the 24th District of Nashville. During her time as the lobbyist, she helped pass many pieces of legislation. She helped pass the increased penalties for assault on a firefighter while on the job. She also passed hepatitis C and HIV presumption disability. She passed mandatory increased coverage for PTSD. She also worked very hard and was always on the front lines of killing the attack on anti-labor and anti-union bills. These bills would have affected our dues deductions, our PAC donations through payroll deduction, and she has been a champion in getting that stopped for many years. Brothers and sisters, our friend, Council Lady Kathleen Murphy.
Good morning. Oh, I think we can do a little better, right? Good morning. Thank you. I've sat in your seats attending IAFF conferences because I fought alongside our Tennessee professional firefighters as their lobbyists, as you just heard, for 12 years. and while I'm clearly not a firefighter, this union has taught me a whole lot. I know that your current working conditions, pay, benefits, as well as your ability to participate in your union have depended upon those who came before you, and that you now fight to make things better, not just for you and your family, but for the next generation of firefighters and EMS workers to come behind you. I hope that explains a little bit why I'm so excited to welcome the IAFF to my hometown of Nashville. 4 years ago, I was elected to my first Metro Council term. And yes, a union lobbyist can get elected in the Right to Work South. Thank you. My experience working with the firefighters here in Tennessee and working with the IAFF has taught me so many important lessons. One example is the saying that it's not about the last vote, it's about the next vote, meaning that you must keep moving forward. Don't take your eye off the prize. Don't forget to appreciate every win, no matter how small. Too often, politicians are quick to sing your praises, only to throw you under the bus when it comes to budget crunch time. Nashville is no different. I've fought the administration alongside Local 140 President Mark Young and others for fair pay and to make sure all of our shifts and that our department is fully funded. We will be continuing that fight in my second term over the next 4 years. But even when we haven't been successful, I've watched firsthand how you IAFF members have been able to change the minds of elected officials by sharing your personal stories. I've seen firsthand the power of your endorsement and the endorsement of the IAFF in local, state, and federal elections. This union and your locals have had long-term visions and strategic plans and have stuck to them. Keep that up. We need it. Let me take a moment of personal privilege and thank Tennessee President Eddie Mitchell and Secretary Treasurer Dennis Carroll, because y'all have taught me so much and have not only made me a better lobbyist, but a better elected official. Thank you to all the locals in Tennessee. Without their hard work, we would have never passed the HIV or hepatitis C disability presumption, strengthened the workplace violence penalties, or PTSD coverage for members of all Tennessee firefighters in Tennessee. Their health and safety is better because of you and your work. And I know that all of y'all will be doing incredibly important work this week. You will be laying the groundwork to make sure firefighters and EMS workers not only have a voice and are heard by and listened to by local, state, and federal elected officials. So I'm sure that some of y'all have already enjoyed what Tennessee has to offer. So on behalf of the Metro Council and the City of Nashville, welcome to Nashville and enjoy your stay here.
Thank you again, Kathleen, for all the hard work you have done for us. My next guest this morning is one of us, actually. He has been a union member since the day he came on the job. He has risen through the ranks, and today is our Director Chief of the Nashville Fire Department. And I also want to thank his command staff. Much of his command staff is here with us this morning. Thank you all for coming. He fully understands the union's role. I'm not going to say that every day is easy with us, but I will say that every day we work together to the best compromise for the members of the Nashville Fire Department. When we pass legislation at the national, local, state level, he is the first one to call and thank us for what we've done to better benefit our members. I can't say enough about this man's character, his willingness to take care and protect the men and women of the Nashville Fire Department. Brothers and sisters, Director Chief Will Swan.
Well, I too want to say good morning and welcome to Nashville. I was thinking that Mark actually invited me to this conference to make a point, you know, the union against the administration. So when he said, "You'll do the welcome," and then he got up here and said, "Hey, welcome to Nashville," I said, he got me. But let me also say welcome to Nashville. And I do believe that I did come up through the department, and it is very important that as a department head and as the director chief of the fire department, we have to run the department. But who's to say that that doesn't mean the relationship between the department administration and the union cannot be one that is workable? Because at the end of the day, it's about the men and women in the field, and that's my main priority. So again, thank you. Don't clap too much. There are times when we have to agree to disagree, but let's move on. So again, I want to welcome you to Nashville, and as the Director Chief of the Nashville Fire Department, it is my honor to welcome you to Music City. Also, on behalf of the 1,200 plus members of this Nashville family, we're happy that you're here. You will see that Nashville is a special place, and we're so happy to share it with you. I feel very honored and want to thank the IAFF Firefighters Union for inviting me to speak and to do the welcome to the Redmond Health and Safety Symposium. Two of the most important things in the fire service is training and safety. We live in a time where being in the fire service is no longer about putting the wet stuff on the hot stuff or simple transporting someone to the ER just because they do not feel well. Just a quick scan of the news and you will see the battle that all of our personnel has to fight every day and every shift. For example, take the opiate epidemic. We have seen it explode in Nashville in terms of the numbers of patients we treat who are presenting signs of overdose. We are currently trending about 25% more than last year. And last year was a record year for our county. Sadly, we live in a world of active shooters and the devastation that causes. We experienced it here in Nashville just a little more than a year ago during a mass shooting at one of our local Waffle Houses. 4 people died, and the gunman wounded several others before one of his would-be victims disarmed him. The Waffle House attack still impacts our community. And so many times, the thing that is overlooked is the effect that this have on our first responders, who worked so hard that early morning to save the lives of the victims of that attack. Unfortunately, I'm not telling you about anything that you are not facing in your own communities. These Nashville tragedies and challenges are America's tragedies and challenges. Thank you for being here to discuss the best practices in confronting these threats. And thank you for discussing the hidden scars these incidents have on our first responders. It is devastating to lose a member of this special family of first responders to suicide, addiction, or have them lead the service because of the emotional toll it has taken on them. I do not just speak of the actual first responders, but also their families. They serve right along with our first responders. Many times they see the hurt, depression, anxiety, fatigue, and hopelessness that so many of our personnel are good at hiding from us on the job. The conversations surrounding these issues are vital to our overall health of our personnel and our ability to serve the communities that we so rightfully love. So again, thank you for being here and welcome to Nashville. Enjoy your stay here, and you guys help me out with this saying. What happens in Nashville? As long as it stays off of social media. Guys, enjoy. May God bless you. Have a great symposium.
Thank you, Chief. Now I want to give a few remarks about tonight's event. And Chief said, keep it off of social media. So here's how this is work. This is a complete venue buyout. The venue is large enough to hold us. There's no problem. It's not going to be crowded. However, it is a complete buyout. The staff at the Wild Horse does not know who a firefighter, paramedic, or your wife or spouse is. You must go to Local 140's booth if you're planning to attend and get a ticket so that you can enter into the Wild Horse. This is the only way we can keep the general public away. It is closed just for us. However, that area is very crowded with tourists, and a lot of people wanted to get into that venue tonight. So please get your ticket there. Transportation. Right, let's see, get my bearings straight. Right back here by the Magnolia entrance, there's also an entrance, the Magnolia Canopy. Around 5:30, they're going to start loading the buses. If you want to take the bus there, first bus are going to pull off at 6. The event is 6:30 to 9:30. The buses will bring you back. We're going to have 3 buses that will just make continuous loops if you decide to come back before 9:30. If you want to stay after 9:30 and experience the honky-tonks, then however you get here, however you get here. Call the executive board at 140. They'll come get you. Again, visit Local 140's booth. Also at the booth for the ladies that are here to go shopping, there's a pamphlet out there on that table. If you take this pamphlet over to the mall, right across the parking lot here, you'll receive a coupon book that has hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of savings, and you can only get that coupon book with one of these. Also, there's different coupons for different bars that are located around the Music Valley area here and downtown. Pick those up at the booth. Again, remember, please get your ticket to the Wild Horse tonight. If you show up and you do not have your ticket, please ask them to find somebody from Local 140. We'll work things out. We're not, but the ticket will make things run much smoother. Again, thank you for coming to Nashville. Let's have a great conference. Let's take a bunch of knowledge back to our hometown. Let's have a good time while we're here. If you need us, our booth is right outside the door. Thank you.